My name is Mary Franciscucci Dirico. I am 85 and a half years of age, and I came from Italy in 1946, right after the war. In Italy, I lived in Orsonia, which is a little town just across from Rome, almost on the Adriatic Sea. I lived over there until I came to the United States. I was born there and lived there until I came to the United States.
Can you tell me a little bit about your life in Italy?
My life in Italy, when I was very young, was very pleasant. I had a mother that took very good care of me. I lived with my grandparents and my mother, and it was a very pleasant living. I went to school, and until the war came about and we had to move out of Orsagna.
What war was it?
World War II, which the German occupied my little town, and we had to move to the surrounding area of the town. We stayed there for 3-4 years, and when the war was over, I came to the United States.
And how old were you?
14 and a half.
Did you face any challenges when you were coming to the United States?
Yes. The trip to the United States was on an old boat, almost leaked. I was sick all the way. The 18 days it took to come to this country. It was a small boat and very old.
Who did you come here with?
Grandmother. My grandfather died and my mother died.
Where in the United States did you end up settling?
My father came to pick me up at the New York port, and we wound up in going back to Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. That's where he lived and worked. I lived there for 4 years. And then I came to visit my aunt in New York, and I liked it very much. And my aunt kept on telling me to stay. I finished high school in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. When I came to this country was on March. It was March of 46. And I had to wait until September to go to school. When I went to school, they put me in grade 8 and 9 because they don't know what to do with me. But when I came from Italy, one of my cousins gave me an English grammar, which I read very well and I learned very well, and I learned all the rules, the syntax of the English language. I could read it, I could write it, but I could not pronounce anything because I didn't know the pronunciation. So therefore, I could talk too much. The first week that I was in junior high school, I was at the end of the staircase and I was looking at the student coming down, and all of them, they were so different. They were African American kids, Chinese kids, American kids. A colorful situation, and everybody was talking. You know, when you change classes, there's a lot of commotion going on. Here I am at the end of the stairs, looking at the kids coming down. My friends, some of my students in the same room that I was in, so that my homeroom teacher came out from, which was very close to the steps, and she came to me. She says, "Mary, what are you doing over here? What's the matter? You're so stupid. You don't know where your homeroom is?" I said, "No, I know." But I felt so embarrassed that she thought that I was so stupid. Anyway, she regretted saying that when I saw her at my graduation of high school graduation, because as a teacher, her sister was the mother and the teacher in high school. So therefore, they sat very close to us, the students. When they kept on calling me because I won a scholarship and I won the Latin merit, I won the French merit, And I don't remember what others was involved. So she talked to me. She said, "Mary, I didn't know you were so smart." I said, "Well, you didn't think so." I wanted to tell her, but I said, "Oh, I'm not really." And that was the end of my reunion with my homeroom teacher when I came from Italy. At that time, they stayed home, cooked and cleaned. So by the time September came around, I started college, Hunter College again, and my father said if I went back to Johnstown, I was not able to go to college. So I stayed in New York and I went to college. But by December, I married, which was, I was married for 64 years. They were very happy days.
How many children do you have?
I only have one daughter and I have 3 wonderful grandchildren.
How old were you when you had your child?
I was 20 and a half years of age. I had many desires to learn many things in life. I did very nicely at Hunter College, and I have some close to 60 postgraduate credits in psychology. I like psychology very much, but as a psychologist, you're not able to prescribe. And I had a student that I was helping with her problems. This brought me to the position that I could not prescribe, but she needed help. And this is where, when I went to medical school, and I became a doctor.
How old were you by the time you became a doctor?
Oh, quite old, 48, 47, 48, somewhere around there.
Now where do you live?
Now I live in Kings Point.
When did you move to Kings Point?
1976. It's 41 years ago.
What made you move to Kings Point?
I wanted some land around the house. We didn't have land where I lived. So we moved over here, and it's been a very pleasant place to be.
When did you end your career?
In medicine, I wound up working in Winthrop University Hospital, and I did my residency over there, and I began working there also for the hospital, and I remained there until I became 65 years of age and I retired.
Do you still live in Kings Point?
Yes, I do. I'm still working whenever I can.
Thank you.